Today, for Canadian history, we're going to be looking at mercantilism and colonization, and we're going to be trying to answer the question why Europeans would want to explore Canada in the 16th and 17th centuries, and why they would want to spend money searching those places and sending people and risking lives to explore those territories. European countries decided to spend money and risk lives to increase their power because there was their ever-going struggle for power and desire for power. So during the 15 and 1600s, many European countries wanted to be wealthy and powerful. Colonies were central to the practice of mercantilism because of their importance as places for European countries to obtain raw materials and sell finished goods. So the theory of mercantilism was a major reason behind European exploration and colonization of the world. The king and queens of Europe encouraged overseas exploration, the establishment of colonies for trade, and missionary efforts among First Nations people. Before colonies could be established, lands that were unknown to the Europeans had to be explored. As lands in Americas were explored, European rulers would claim ownership over them. By claiming these lands, the European rulers believed they also had the right to control all the trade in the area. This was known as a monopoly when they controlled all of the trade in the area. They believed their control also extended beyond the land and its resources to include its people, even though the people had been living there for thousands of years and already had their own government, laws, customs, and traditions. Exploration, mercantilism, and colonization are very closely related. To control the newly claimed lands, colonization was essential. Colonization refers to one country, historically called the mother country, bringing another separate region under its direct control. This was often accomplished by establishing permanent settlements in the new region. These new settlements were expected to develop the region's resources and supply the European country or the mother country with inexpensive raw materials or products. Colonies were also expected to provide a market or a place where the manufactured goods could be purchased. Raw materials were also shipped to the European country to be manufactured into goods. Manufactured goods were shipped back to the colony to be sold at then a higher price. Thus, colonies were an important part of the European trading theory of mercantilism. The French and English were impressed by the wealth of the Spanish gained from their colonies in Central and South America. They also wished to become wealthy, so they began to colonize the area of North America they had claimed. So mercantilism starts in our mother country, which is in Europe often. The explorers, traders, and fishermen left Europe. They took the finished goods to the people who lived in other parts of the world, which were the different colonies that the mother countries controlled. And then the raw materials were bought inexpensively from all over the world and sent to the workers in Europe. The workers in Europe turned the raw materials into finished goods, and then the finished goods were sold all over the world for more than had been paid for the raw materials and the labor. This allowed the countries that manufactured the goods to accumulate wealth in gold and silver. Because remember, colonization, exploration, and mercantilism all happened because of the mother country's desire for power and their need for wealth and prestige. Early colonization attempts were slowed, however, by the fact that unlike the Spanish colonies, North America did not immediately yield precious metals and jewels. The first prosperous industry in North America was the fishing industry. Later, the fur trade became an important industry. Although these did not include industries supplied important raw materials, they did not necessarily require permanent settlements. However, many Europeans recognized that these lands were a source of potential wealth, which colonization would increase. This led to the further development of what is now Canada.